Hello, everybody. I know you can't see me, but you shall see me soon. Here we are. And unfortunately, I have not got Mara's computer workstation set up yet, where with the camera and the mic and stuff. I think I mentioned last week that I need to troubleshoot the mic because being close together, we got this like weird echo effect going on. So, we got to figure that out too. But Christopher 6307, happy Saturday evening. Yes, happy Saturday to you. And if you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. Forgot to turn this on. Have a little background music. And what's weird is there are 13 people in the waiting room. And usually there's never been 13 people waiting to go live with me. So I don't want to be negative, but it seems a little suspicious to me. I hope that there are just 13 amazing people that have 13 amazing stories to share. But you guys were here, or at least some of you were here, and some craziness went down a couple weeks ago. And now there's 14, so we're about to find out what's going to happen. Hopefully this podcast, I won't get bombed by crazy people, and it won't go very quickly, so we will see what happens. But hopefully I think I got my internet system working good this weekend. There won't be any pauses or problems. If you do want to join me, there are 13 people ahead of you, but if all you have to do is go in the description below, there you can either use the link or you can go to Zoom directly, and then also below is the code and the password to get in. Not the code, but the room ID and password. So, and Stacy, thank you for being, I think that's what it was. Someone just became a bronze member. Where was that? Stacy Maxed Ted. Stacy, thank you for being a bronze member. We really appreciate you. So that's about it. We got 100 people here. Hopefully it'll be 500 tonight. I think we should make a goal every week to go up 100. And the best it's ever been is in the 400. So tonight's goal will be 500 people. Levin.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi, are you here to share or are you here to watch?
I'm here to share.
Oh, okay. Levin Silverstone, right? Silverstone. I apologize. Well, let me turn it on and let's chat. Oh,
hey.
Hi, Levin. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
It's great to be back.
Guys?
We're doing
Mara.
great. All right. She says hello and welcome back.
Hello.
And you are our friend in Florida, right?
Mm-hmm, I am.
I was thinking last night, you are Indian, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And but you don't have a large, you have long hair. And I thought maybe he's a Sikh because Sikhs don't cut their hair, but then you trimmed your beard though.
Mm-hmm.
Are you Sikh?
No, I'm not Sikh. I'm from the south part of India, Sikh or north part of India.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you for clearing that up.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking last week about you and your wife and your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I don't remember where we left off at.
Well,
you were let's jump right into your spirit. What happened to you that spiritually transformed you?
Well, okay, before I start, I would like to say again that you have a really kind and gentle soul.
Thank you.
I mean, you both are, you guys are a reflection of each other.
Thank you.
And you guys make all your guests, at home very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that you guys give, the space, the non-judgmental space to be. And, a space that's non-judgmental is unconditional love.
Right. And, I'm glad you mentioned that because this is a space that allows my many different types of guests to come share their experiences. And some guests contradict other guests, and some guests may have a belief that you, the audience, may not agree with. But I still try to keep this place and let it remain as a place for them to share their reality, their experience, their truth. And again, so as an audience member, you may have a guest that you totally resonate with and you agree with, and then the next night you may not. But I don't want to put the guest into a box. I want them to give their story, their experience, and it's up to the audience to, resonate with it or not.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that we are all learning together. So, it's the process of learning.
Yeah.
And I also want to give energy to everyone.
Thank you.
May I?
Sure.
Thanks. May unconditional love be with you, your family, and everyone present here now and always. May joy, peace, harmony, healing, protection, and health, abundance fill you, your family, and everyone present here now and always.
Thank you for that, Levin. Thank you.
Let's jump right in.
All right.
So I wanted to talk actually about the conceptual self or the ego today.
All right. Okay, good, cool. The conceptual self and the ego.
So when we were born, as a baby, so we didn't have a conceptual self or ego. Our true nature, our spirit is independent of the ego. So I want, people to let it sink that in, So what is the ego? When we are born, we are given a name, and then, everybody gives, unconditional love, care. They're all, they always have us around them. And then as time progresses, it's suddenly cut off. The level which was given to us was cut short. And, many conditions started to apply in our life. Like, say, you do certain thing, go to school, or it could be anything, and then you will get, you'll get a toy, or, you get good time. But if you don't, then, you're not gonna get what you want. So from a very young age, we go through that, and then when we go to the outside world, with the name, we have all this experience. Like, we go to school, college, so all the experience from the outside world, we take it, what we like, all those things, we take it inside of us, and we attach it to form the ego, like, we take all things from outside and create this conceptual self. So that is actually a copy. See, most of the things we do as humanity does is really a copy of the real, organic matrix or the universal laws, principles. We just copy that, and we, instead of doing it for the greater good, we copy it and we use it for power and control. So
yeah, it sounds a little bit like you agreed with Lisa Harrison the other night, talking about the organic matrix and the upside down copy that we're in. Did you agree with that?
Well, it's not a matter of, I agree with that. But, it is so. I agree or not, it is so, So what the ego does is, when we take the natural world, which is the organic matrix, the natural world is free. Everything is flourishing, abundance, everything is connected. Everything complements each other. It's so deeply connected. If we want to eat food, the sun, the earth, the air, water, everything, all elements go together, and then we consume that. So we can see that all is so connected, and the conceptual self, it says that I am separate than everything else, which is the most, it's such ignorance to live, as a human. I'm not saying pointing it to anyone specific, but generally as humanity, we were, like that. Now it's changing.
Let me ask you something here. What do you think the Earth would be like without humans? And do you think, I mean, I agree with you that everything is connected and everything is part of everything and makes this whole planet function together. You know what I mean? Like if you took one species of animals out, it would change the dynamics of many, many things. But I sometimes wonder that humans, are we really from here, and are we throwing this planet out of balance?
Well, that's definitely true that we are throwing the planet out of balance, because the way we feel and what's inside is the reflection of outside. So, what's outside is the reflection of inside. So, if we are not in balance, then you know, we are giving that to our planet. We are part of it. So,
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
so yeah. So I actually
I'm sorry.
was going.
I got you way off. I got you way off. I got you off
Okay.
topic. But
That's
you were
okay. That's
talking
okay.
about how, everything, if when you're trying, I think you were talking about the, you had the ego
So,
and the other self, but you really can't be separate from everything.
yeah. So then we ask the question, what is actually, we look outside, everything is one, everything is connected, not only the planet, but the solar system. It's a system. System means it's already one, it's a unit. Then you go above that, then there's the galaxy, all that. It keeps on having a bigger picture and a bigger connection to us.
Mm-hmm.
So the ego is opposite to that direction, which is the truth. The truth is everything is connected. So the ego is saying something opposite to that and saying that I am separate than everything else. Then we ask, why? What is it actually that it says it's separate? What it actually is? When we see that the ego is an activity in our brain, in human brain. So the ego doesn't make our heart beat. The ego doesn't make us breathe, or when we get, hurt, wounded, healing, everything
Right.
happens. The ego doesn't do any of this.
Good point.
So, so then we look within us and see what it actually is. So the ego is nothing but the past, our memories, all our memories put together as a story. Everybody has a story running in their mind. So that story is owned by this image of ours, us, and the name, and then the image. And when we look at the image, it's also another memory. It's another thought. It's it's just a concept in our mind. It's an idea. So the moment we actually see that in our mind, say for example, humans say that I am thinking, right? We are that's what we believe, right? So, but are we? I doubt that.
Well, I think a lot of times we are on autopilot, probably the majority of the time. But I think sometimes we do make conscious effort to think
Yeah.
about things.
Well, that's true. Mostly what happens is, thinking is happening to us. When we really see what thinking is response to the response to memory. That's all it is. say if I'm talking to you about a car which I saw outside today, then your mind may respond to it like, well, I saw a car too, or something related to that car on its own. You don't have to use an effort to think about it. In the same time, if I say I saw a dog outside, then your brain might respond immediately to what memory of dog or any other animal you had. So
Yeah, that's a great point.
so it's an automatic.
Would you say then that we don't really have free will, at least in thinking, because
We don't.
we don't. We're just responding to memories. That's it.
That's it. I mean, we don't actually respond. It does it on its own. It records on its own. It responds on its own. It's so fast.
So
Because
are we just as a spiritual being witnessing these memories and witnessing these responses?
So when we realize that wait a minute, if I am not that what I thought I was, this concept of the ego, then the question arises that, so if I am not that, then what is it that is aware of those thoughts? When that question comes, then everything becomes still. There is awareness, and then is it mine? Is it my awareness? And I look, we look and see, we see nature, life forms, everything has awareness, and awareness comes from the present moment. So then what is awareness? So awareness is common to all. So the whole universe is awareness. So the moment you realize that, then say, for understanding's sake, so the sun came and the planets formed and everything had to be in balance to create this life, atmosphere and everything going on. And you go even further out, and then there is the other suns which are balancing everything with our sun, and then the galaxy, and then you even go further outside of back, just for understanding's sake. We don't have to believe an idea, but to understand it, let's take the Big Bang. So then the Big Bang is the first. So then what was before that? When we question that, then the mind is just, completely still. And the moment these questions we asked, me and my brother were asking, and then we were so still, and then suddenly we realized that whatever is now was at that time. It was a sudden recognition, and like tremendous energy we could feel when the moment we recognized that, like something felt like an energy flow happened to both of us, and it was an unbelievable feeling. We could feel it in our brain on the side, in the skull, that it was such a liberating feeling, and then we are like, so the source is awareness. The source is what is aware through us. And that's the truth, So we asked the question, last time that, we still live in this 3D world. We have to provide, we have to survive, right? So then the moment we realize that first I have to be alive to survive, to do job, to work, to have family.
Right.
So first of all this is set in perfect intelligence, and I am alive. And now that that the truth has been revealed, that the source is flowing through us and watching this world, then everything is taken care of. You don't have to use effort to do anything. The universe keeps you alive. It knows what paths to take you in, how to feed you, everything is taken care of after that.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, Levin, I am sorry. I have to run to the next person. I've got 6 people waiting. But
Sorry about that.
No, this is a fascinating conversation, and I hope you come back and we pick up from here next week.
Sure, but I want to tell my YouTube channel to you if that
Of
is
course.
okay?
What is your YouTube channel called?
My YouTube channel, our YouTube channel is Blind Our Eyes Without an Open Heart.
Blind Our Eyes Without an... What?
Blind Our.
Blind Our Eyes. A-R-E?
Without, yes.
Blind
Without
our...
an... Go ahead.
Blind our eyes without an open light.
Open heart.
Open heart. Blind our eyes without an open heart.
Heart, space, 7359.
Okay, I think it would be best if you go to the chat and put a link in the chat. Tell everybody in the chat, because if I'm having trouble keeping up, probably the audience is too.
I'll do that. We have some merchandise too, so I want to just show a sample of it,
Let infinite freedom emanate life. Cool.
That's one, and just one other thing. One more.
Programmed as man, programmed as woman. Conflict, limited love, separation. Planned as man. Wow, you have some cool stuff. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, were you able to see it fully?
No, I didn't see that. Plus,
sorry.
Okay. Conflict, limited love, separation. Unplug is man, plus unplugged, harmony, union, and... Cool. Very cool.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, brother. Yeah. Thank you. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.
Guys, take care.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And a big round of applause for Levin. All right, so we finally got Pam here. The shopping channel. And we got to thank Pam for bringing all her friends here. I don't know of how many people. Probably not everybody's here. I don't think anybody's left. That's with Pam.
Hey, hi Jeff.
Hey Pam, how's it going?
Good. Sorry for the snafu. And
that's okay. I want to say thank you so much for inviting all your friends here.
Oh, I will do it again.
Awesome, awesome. Where are you?
Group,
I'm sorry,
I'm
go
in
ahead.
Honolulu. No, I'm in Honolulu. Yeah, Honolulu.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Man, your internet comes in so clear for being so far away. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty good, huh? So, yeah, I was sorry, but my group is a passionate bunch of people. So
that's awesome. So tell us.
And I just at the last minute just said, hey, I'm going to do Jeff's thing here. And they're like, they're all coming.
Well, tell us about you. What are you up to?
Okay, so I'm here because I want to give my book away, but let me explain why anybody would want my book.
Okay.
So February of this year, I published a book called Supernatural Love, A True Story of Life and Love After Death. My husband was a psychic medium. He passed away. We've worked in Honolulu with clients here and around the world for over 35 years, but mainly in Honolulu. So it's not like, the rest of the country heard about us, but we're well known here locally.
So wait, I'm so sorry, real quick, but your husband was a psychic medium.
He was a psychic medium.
You are too?
I'm more of a channel. Like he would get spirits coming to him, and he could feel spirits when he was little, growing up during World War II. We were 15 years age difference. He was older, so he was a natural born medium, but he didn't really do a lot of mediumship, but spirit was always connecting with him. But I was more of a channeler. So I learned that in the 80s and began channeling, readings and messages for people. So when he died, though, I never even thought that I would hear from him. Oh, maybe I thought I'd get a sign, but I didn't think that he'd come back and say, well, we're supposed to continue our relationship.
Yeah.
I go, what? How do you do that?
He said, you can't move on. You can't cheat on me. I'm still here waiting for you.
Yeah. He was actually told my girlfriend, he says, I was a shitty husband to her. Wow. And I'm worried that she's going to find somebody else. And I want to make it up to her. And we also agreed, apparently, that this would happen in our pre-birth plan, that he would pass and I would be behind and he would help from the other side, because we were both spiritual teachers for 35 years. We would teach psychic development, mediumship. Actually, he taught mediumship. I mostly would teach channeling. So what happened was surprising. He came back and he said, we're going to write a book. We're going to explain to people how to connect through the veil, like you and I are going to do. And because this is going to happen for more people. And I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know anybody who had that after death relationship, that I was forging.
I've had a few guests that have that, and I would like to know, how are you communicating with him?
Yeah, well, it turns out there's so many ways, but I hear him telepathically now. That wasn't always the case. But because I could channel, I would write his messages. So when I teach channeling, I teach my students to begin by writing their messages, and also teach vocal channeling. So if they start speaking their messages, what happens for me when I developed as a channel, that's how I became telepathic, because I would channel spirit and I started to just hear them talk. But with my husband, it was different because we had personal and emotional issues we had to resolve. That's a whole other thing. But once that was resolved, then I could hear him more clearly. And now it's like he's just constantly talking. I know it's him because I'll think to myself something like, well, I got to call Taylor, our son. And I'll hear immediately go, why do you have to call him? And I know that's not me, because why would I say that to myself? Whatever. I say, well, yeah, I have to call him because this and this. He'd go, okay, I get it. So I have this dialogue and I'm teaching people how to do the same, but everybody's a little different. So some of them are, more like sensing them. There's a way to feel them. There's a way to hear them for sure. And I know with channeling, I've had people just really take off with writing their loved ones' messages and getting confirmation with proof, like that they would tell them something and they would be able to confirm that later. So there are ways for that, but everybody's different. So people have to kind of figure out. And also, Alan has said to me, the other side, the loved one they're different. Like some of them are really good at certain things. Like some of them are really good at moving things, moving objects, physical, like even contact. I have one client whose husband writes messages to her in her carpet. I mean, literally like his name and messages, and he makes things move, like makes the the bidet that you have in the toilet that makes it turn on when it's not supposed to or not work with. Like he does all kinds of stuff. So each soul on the other side, what I've learned from working with so many people that are having these relationships, each soul on the other side, they're different. So we have to figure out, well, what is their ability? How are they different? And then we here in the body, we have to develop our ability, but to meet them halfway. But what really blew my mind was when Alan came back to me was he asked me to form a Facebook group, which I do have, and invite anybody who's grieving to join it. It's called Soulmates in the Afterlife. And
Soulmates
in the Afterlife.
Soulmates in the Afterlife.
Right. Okay. And he said, form the group because you're going to meet people that are having the same experience. And I said, really? But sure enough, I've had people come to me and say, I read your book, I heard about you, and I'm having the same experiences. Maybe not exactly the same, but I'm having contact. And I thought I was crazy. So Alan has proven to be right when he said to me that I'd see more people that were having spontaneous connection, but they struggling to get support because a lot of them will go to mediums, and a lot of mediums will just say the standard medium line, well, you're supposed to let the dead go, you're supposed to move on, find another partner. But I tell you, these spirits on the other side are coming back and saying, I don't want to let go. I want to continue. We can do this. And so I'm meeting them. And some of them have more intense like even intimate connections with their partner than I do. But this is a real thing. And Alan says it's because, as you know, the planet's ascending and people are opening up, right? We're all shifting. So that makes it easier for us to connect through the veil. And the other side is intent on coming through to support us at this time because the planet is in such chaos and they know that we need help. Whether we're grieving or not, I think we all can agree we need help. So I've seen that, and it's quite stunning to me. And I'm just doing my best to support these people because they turn to mediums, like I said, and some of them understand and will concur, and others will just tell them they need to move on, that this is impossible. And to me, that's just tragic, because it's absolutely real, it's absolutely possible. And I'm trying to get the word out so people don't fall into this deep abyss of grief and give up, because to be told that your spouse or your partner wants you to move on, that is devastating to somebody. That is just going to make them spiral into depression, and it's not true in the vast majority of cases that I've encountered.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're going to find that this is a growing phenomenon. My prediction is that it's going to equal near-death experiences, because guess what? Most people will lose somebody they love or already have. And when that happens, that can lead to a spiritually transformative experience. That's what happened to me. And that's what I'm seeing happening to a lot of the people that we work with. So I just wanted to come on here, and I wanted to give our book away, like
Sure.
I told you.
All right. Well, where can people find your book?
It's on Amazon.
It's
they
on
just have
Amazon.
to go, and I'll drop a link, but it's supernaturallove.com/book.
Orbs, okay.
supernaturallove.com/book.
So
or they can go.
Are you having a contest or something?
No. It's a giveaway.
It's a giveaway. The book's free for everybody?
It's free. It's free for 5 days. So
wow,
we're
that's
not
amazing.
a contest. We just give it away. I intend to give it away as often as I can. Amazon only lets you do that every 3 months. But as far as I'm concerned, I would give it away now. But you can't really do that on Amazon because it's helped so many people, and I hear from them all the time.
Is that like a paperback book or a digital book?
It's like a digital.
An ebook.
So as you know, they can download it to their laptop or their tablet or phone using the Kindle app, which is free, right? It's hard to get it on like a Nook, because you need like a conversion thing and pay for that. And so I tell people, forget that's too complicated. But they can just get the Kindle app and just read it that way.
That's awesome.
Normally, the Kindle price is just $6.99 anyway. I didn't price it really high, but so yeah, we just want everybody to read the book and learn how to do this, because I shared my whole story from the start of when I thought it was just nuts what was going on to where I really understood that he was here and that he was here to stay, and I started seeing other people having the same experiences. So
who do you use? This is a little bit different thing, but who do you usually channel? Okay, that's an interesting question. So when I started channeling, it was my guides, and in the 80s, late mid 80s or so, the Hay House was not the force that it is now. There wasn't really many metaphysical books. There was a little metaphysical bookstore in Honolulu, dusty little bookstore that had these old books in it. Nobody was really talking about this stuff. So when I opened up, I didn't have a teacher. And my guides started to teach me. And I started to just get downloads, and I would know things. And people would ask me questions, and I would have the answer because it was my guides. So I started to just give readings that way, where they would just answer the question. It would be either my team of guides or the clients or both. And so when somebody asks the question, I hear the answer and I just give that. And that's basically how I've learned. And so I didn't understand till later that's really the definition of a mystic. A mystic is someone who learns directly from the other side. They don't usually read very much. I mean, they can, but they're not book learned. They're more really being guided by spirit world. And I didn't really put a name to that. That was just what's happened to me, because my mother was a psychic. She didn't open up to it. She was scared of it. But my grandmother was a psychic medium. Cool.
And she did channel. She was Japanese, and before the war, you had to be careful with that. So she had to stop it when she moved to Hawaii and as a picture bride.
Right.
So anyway.
Well, I got to run because I've got people waiting on me. But if you're up for it, maybe next Saturday or some other Saturday, you can come and channel for us and let the audience type in the chat questions for your channel, because we
sure.
do that sometimes when different
Sure,
people
that
come
would be
in.
fun.
Sometimes
That would be fun.
guests come and we do that. It's fun to do. So
Sure, that would be fun.
well,
Okay.
that would be
Thank you
really
so
cool.
much.
I wish
Thank
you
you so
massive
much.
success with your book, and I hope I hope to see you again. Thank you so
Thanks,
much
you
for
too.
coming
Thanks
and
so much,
visiting us.
Jeff. Bye-bye.
All right,
Aloha.
bye-bye. Aloha.
Bye-bye.
And a big round of applause for Pam. Now, let's see if we can find him. We saw in the chat here that it says that we have an experiencer, author, speaker in the room with us, Greg Pacini. Some people are at the actual IONS conference. And they would like to, he's here. I don't see him in here. I don't see him in here to bring him on directly. Oh, so we could bring him directly in here, but he left. Oh well, maybe he'll come back. But I guess that's right. I think the IONS conference, I guess, is in full swing right now, all the way through tomorrow night. Their big yearly. What do they call that? Their big yearly conference. And so maybe some people, that's pretty cool that people that are actually at IONS conference watching. That would be really awesome if they would actually put it up where the whole audience could watch. So let's go on to Holly Peterson. Now I wonder if Holly was one of Pam's people. It's actually IONS. And if I may be pronouncing it quickly, but it's IONS. It's what is it? International Association for Near-Death Studies. So I don't know if some of these people are still left over. It's just going to be like they missed Pam. They're going to have to go back and watch the replay. We'll find out. I guess Holly left. All right, Vicky's here from Bangalore. So we'll see what Vicky has to say today. And all right, so I recorded a podcast today of a woman that had an NDE, and I think she used to be on one of those cooking shows from the TLC channel. And I'm planning on posting that tomorrow night, so I hope you guys will like that. I have another one that I recorded yesterday. Well, I'll have to tell you about it later. We'll see. So I recorded one yesterday of a guy that I've had a handful of women who have hybrid extraterrestrial children. And this is a man that felt like his hybrid alien son came to visit him. And no, I can't hear you. Vicky, we can't hear you. Your audio's not connected. Up. Because sometimes it takes a minute. So this is a guy that, he's back. Do we have that sign in there that says we can't hear you? It's either this one, I think it's this one. Where's my signs? Here it is. It says, waiting for audio to sync. I guess the wave means yes. He got that. So anyways, we have that one. Here he comes. Vicky.
Yeah. So the audio problem. I had audio problem.
Yeah, sometimes it takes the time for the guest's audio to connect.
Yeah, it took really a long time this
And
time.
it was just taking a minute to connect. Well, you're dressed you're dressed male today.
I didn't get any notification from you, so I thought of starting it late. Otherwise,
that's
I had
okay.
everything prepared.
Now,
I had everything.
did you see the video I posted today of a man of the Russian royalty?
I searched, but I could not get the link.
I posted, if you go to my channel, I posted with this man named Dr. Serge Obelinsky Beddington Bears. The last video, today's video, he's a member of the Russian royal family.
Oh, then today's video I'll just watch.
Yeah.
If it's latest, I might have not watched. Yeah.
Because and for people who don't know, Vicky in a past life was a member of the Russian royal family, so I thought that would be specifically interesting to you.
Definitely, it would be great to watch.
Now, you made a mannequin. Who is this mannequin of?
This is just for the program. It's not particularly anyone. It's just for a program. It's just for my video shoot today.
Oh, okay.
I thought of starting it, but as I didn't get any notification from you, so I am starting it a bit late.
That's
I have
okay.
good, yeah. So probably maybe next time if I get a notification, I'll start earlier and I may even dance. Yeah.
Do you have like your own studio or something? The room that you're in kind of looks like an art studio or something.
Yeah, it's like a studio. It's like a studio. So
can you give us a tour?
Set up for the dance. It's being set up for the dance and all my programs, video programs.
I think that I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that red phone looks really cool. Is that just like a regular phone or is there something special about it?
No, it's an ancient phone, like 4 to 5 decades old.
I love though how it's red.
It's being used in the 70s, I guess. In the 70s.
Or 60s maybe.
Could be.
It reminds me, I don't know if you know who Batman is, the comic book character, but I think from the...
I know the Justice League and the 7 heroes of the Justice League. I'm a fan of Justice League, actually.
Okay. It looks like the telephone that they would use to call Batman.
Yeah.
So do you design clothing as well? Because you're really talented at like coming up with these decorations for the costumes.
Yeah. I design all my clothing, my wigs, and my costumes for both female and male.
All right. For those of you that are new and have never met or seen Vicky before, he has hybrid DNA. Yeah. Not just XY, but he has Z chromosomes too. I guess you would consider yourself an alien. I don't know about experiment's probably not the right word, but they are modifying you.
They have modified me, actually. That's the reason why I'm so lonely, because this much amount of loneliness is required for them to upbring the Z chromosome, to mature the Z chromosome. Otherwise, if I am around with people, then it would get hampered. That's what they are saying telepathically to me. So the rest, I don't know. I think they're also saying that in another 2 years, my Z chromosome will attain complete maturity. Within another 2 years, before the 2025. I think probably that's also the time for the Earth's ascension to reach its peak, I think.
Have you ever been abducted by the ETs? And possibly brought on their ship?
Paralysis, but even no, not necessarily. But I've had sexual contacts. I've had sexual contact with aliens.
Right.
And they have actually prompted me to create a pillow man and a pillow woman, actually, which I have. And I can actually communicate with them telepathically, as well as when I touch those mannequins, I hear some sort of sounds with alien words, which I'm not able to understand. I'm not able to decode.
That's pretty wild. I have as I was telling everybody before I brought you on, that I have a man, I recorded yesterday a guest who has had contact with aliens, and they created a son from him, and his son came to visit him.
I think these could be Pleiadians.
Pleiadians?
as far as you know. So I think so, because looking at their appearance, which I have encountered 2 times, I think it could be Pleiadians who have created the Z chromosome in me.
All right.
So to create harmony in this world, probably because we have lots of discrimination and between male and female. The male species wants to be domineering, so probably they are creating the Z chromosome in order to equalize, in order to prove that we should live in harmony as both a female, that any human has the capacity to be both a female and a male.
It's interesting.
So that kind of.
All right. Well, people in the chat have asked if you're going to be dancing today.
Today I've actually not prepared myself. The studio has not been prepared. It takes time because I thought of dancing, but I didn't get any notification from you.
Oh.
So next time.
That's okay. You know we'll be here next Saturday. Even if you don't get a notification here, I mean, I should be here. I'm basically here every Saturday night.
I thought you may or may not. Every Saturday if you have a live program, then it's fine.
Yeah.
So next time I will just set up for the dance.
Right.
And before leaving, I can also remind that I had been a breatharian and I am also not able to eat the regular food. Genetically, digestive system is also very much altered in my body. That I want to remind.
Yeah, we talked about that last time about you being a breatharian. And I think I told you, I've reached out to some breatharians, but nobody ever wanted to come on the show.
Yeah. So even these peoples might be having some sort of alien interference, I think. Could be.
Yeah.
The alien interference.
Yeah. All right, Vicky, listen, I got to run, brother, but I will talk to you next week.
Yeah, fine.
All right, take care.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And a big round of applause for Vicky. So yeah, breatharians. There are people around this planet that are, I think there's only 1 or 2 in the world that's it. No food, no water, just breathing. But some of them I say or some of the other ones I saw that like they eat a little bit, maybe eat and drink a little bit, but they're trying to go all the way as breatharians. All right, so I still see that they're over there. I saw about Mini Rapunzel. And I don't know whose channel is whose. I have Melinda, Elizabeth, and Lisa, but let's bring in Melinda and see. Maybe she's over there at the Ions conference. And go from there. Melinda. All right. So anyways, yeah, that was that one that we did. And tomorrow, on Monday, I'm recording a big time UFO guy named Richard Dolan. And we will be talking about so, Melinda.
I'm sorry. I can't. I don't think he's getting it.
Hello?
Hey.
There you are.
Can you hear us?
Yes. Who is us?
Hi. It's Pete Stathis and
I thought that's Petey Pete. Yes.
And Mini Rapunzel. And Tanya.
And Tanya. What you guys? Wow, that's awesome. You guys are all there.
Awake Ken. And we're
Awaken. Wow.
Everyone from Ian, say hi to the Jeff.
Hey everybody. But I don't know what's going on with your camera. There you are, you're back. Maybe you should turn off the green screen. Maybe you should turn off the green screen because I keep losing you in camera.
What? The green screen.
This is
do you know how to do it quick?
Let's see here.
That's so awesome that we got everybody there. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, of course. Terry? Is it Terry?
It's Vinny.
Vinny Todd Tolman, right?
Yeah, there you go.
See?
You got it, brother.
Yeah.
Vinny Todd Tolman.
There you go. Yes. Probably half the people there have been on my podcast.
We're trying to get the effects off here for you.
Yeah, the effects keep there.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, that's amazing.
All right, now we're.
Vinny, did you speak?
Everybody can say JeffMara.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Tanya.
We love the way you don't talk too much.
I love you guys.
He says he loves you guys. So what we have here, Vinny Tolman already said hi.
Yes.
I was chatting with Vinny in the Experiencers Lounge a couple days ago, which is a very kind of like intimate setting where maybe 5 or 6 people sit and are sharing their experiences. And then we also have here Dr. Tim Roach.
Hi, Tim.
Who has
he has 91 patients with with 91 with NDEs and 800 with transformative spiritual events. Come to my office.
Well, we got to get you. We got to get you on the show. We've got to get you on the show to talk.
Sure, I'd love to do that.
That'd be great.
I can share one interesting story if you're interested in it.
Sure.
I was in Philadelphia, and the taxi driver was telling me this story. There's a woman who got divorced, and every time she went home, when her house was in front of a cemetery, she would be greeted inside the house by a tall man in an old military-like outfit from the 1800s. And she figured out every time she was coming in the front door, he was coming in the back from the cemetery. And so he would kind of stand in her bedroom doorway every night. One night, she got a pull on her sleeve, and she woke up and looked out the window, and her ex-husband had just parked the car. So this military guard apparition was her protector. It was there to look out for her. And so she wanted to keep him around for a long time. She eventually moved, but I like that story.
It is. Maybe he's a member of her soul group or something.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't like her husband.
Apparently, if you want to say I won't share it. I'll turn it over to some other people.
Thank you so much.
I can tell you more stories too if you want to keep talking.
Sure.
An interesting experience. I saw a woman as a new patient, and a month later, she came back to the front desk. My wife was receptionist, and this woman said, "I've got to see Dr. Roach." And my wife said, "Well, he's booked out 2 to 3 months." Said, "You don't understand. I've got to see him." So she worked him in. I walk in the room, and the woman says, "You're probably going to think I'm crazy." But, she'd had 3 near-death experiences. The more of those you have, the more intuitive you are. And she said she had this vision. She lived in Colorado, had the vision of the word Ashland in a college on a hill. And she didn't know what it meant, but she knew she had to solve that riddle. She traveled to Ashland, Oregon to try to get answers, no answers. She and her husband moved to Central Kentucky, and then she came to my office. And then she saw a college on the edge of the hill, on the edge of Midway. And then did a YouTube search of me. I gave a testimonial for Madeira Foundation in Ashland, Oregon. Figured out I was the one that connected the dots. I was planning a conference. I'd only planned it a few weeks earlier. It only had 2 to 3 sign up. And it was, I did not announce where it was going to be. But she said, this conference in Midway University is supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. And it caused me to go to Ashland, Oregon to look for answers. It caused my husband and I to move to Central Kentucky to come to see you, to give you that message.
That's amazing. Wow.
I didn't know who was behind it. But, quite amazing.
That is awesome. It's a little noisy on my end. It's difficult to catch your last name, Doctor. What is it?
Roach. Yeah, R-O-A-C-H.
Oh, Dr. Roach. Okay, great. Well, okay, great. So I hope, we need to talk after this event so we can get you on and talk about stuff. Okay. Have you had an NDE yourself?
I've been out of body. I've connected with the divine when I was out of body. My inner self spoke to me and shared a traumatic event I'd had when I was 8 years old, shared details of that I didn't recall at all, and editorialized on that, said terrible haste, terrible grace. And then I had a shaman friend who had consulted oracles and named me Imhotep based on a physician in Egypt, the very first physician, 3000 BC.
Right.
And he came through the veil from the opposite side. He called me Dr. Imhotep all the time. He said, Dr. Imhotep, thank you for the grace and love that you're giving to your patients. So I had that experience as well, which is very special, very meaningful.
That's awesome. That'll be great. Well, we gotta get you on and talk about all of that stuff.
Okay. Be happy to do so.
They're great. Fantastic.
Thanks, Doctor. We're up on the 14th floor now, Jeff, and there are 15th floor, and there's a big dance party going on.
Oh wow! Okay. Well, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Dr. Evan Alexander is in there. Obviously, it would be too loud for you to hear anything.
That's all right.
Would you like me to just take a sweep through so that people can kind of see what's going on at IANS and see some of the faces?
That would be great. Yeah, let's all check out the conference. Where is next year's? Have they decided yet where's next year's conference going to be?
Oh, believe it or not, it's going to be near you. It's going to be in Phoenix.
Oh, that's not that close, but...
Did you get that?
Yeah, I heard that. Phoenix is still a 15-hour drive for me.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm in the middle of the country.
DC.
Yeah, that's true. Phoenix, great.
Okay, here we go. You're not going to be able to hear me, I don't think. Let's just do a quick sweep, all right? Keep your eye out, and you might see some well-known NDEers.
All righty. Mm-hmm. I guess what happens is that a lot of times when there's music, Zoom kind of clips it off. That's why it's kind of like really weird. But that's okay. It's still we get an idea of what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you, PDP. Thank you very much, sir. I don't know if you can hear me. I was saying thank you.
There was an Evan Alexander sighting, but he was not dancing.
That's okay. That's all right. All right, PDP. Well, listen, I'm got to run, but thank you for giving us an update. I'm glad that you guys are all together having fun, and I wish you guys a great rest of your conference.
Do you want to say goodbye?
Hello.
Bye. Love you, Jeff.
All right, we love you guys.
Hi, Jeff. I'm Byron. I just emailed you a few days ago.
All right, Byron. Hopefully I'll be talking to you soon.
Call out to Angelo. Remember?
He's got a press pass.
All right.
All right. Do you want to say goodbye? Or?
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll see you next week.
Loud.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was pretty awesome. That was the first time we've ever had that, an actual lot. Ooh. Got my finger caught in my desk. Anyways, that was the first time that we've ever had that, like a live Zoom. I mean, a live contact at the IANS meeting. But I don't know if they've had, been having their IANS meetings because of COVID. I think that maybe they shut it down, and this is the first time it came back. Anyways, Elizabeth R is up. Let's bring her in. Oh, and I also wanted to say a big thank you to Merlin and the Fae Kings crowd. Thank you for that super thanks, Merlin. I don't know if you're still there, and if you're not, I'm sorry I missed you, but thank you for that. Elizabeth, are you there?
Hi, yes, I am.
Are you here to see Pam, or are you here to share?
No, I'm here to share.
Okay, great.
And I hope that I'm not changing topics because I kind of came in. I wasn't watching. Bear with me one moment.
There aren't any topics. It's whatever you'd like to share.
Awesome. So, okay, let me see. There we go. Okay.
Great. Where are you zooming? Before we get started, where are you zooming from?
Sacramento, California.
Okay, cool. All right,
Yeah,
awesome.
lovely Sacramento. I'm in a hotel now. My kids are attending the anime con, so I thought this is a perfect time to share.
Yeah, you know what's so funny is the way that room looks like, it looked like a hotel room to me. And I said, it looks like she's in a hotel, but I didn't want to say anything because I could be wrong.
Nine stories up. Your other guest was 10. It's so nice being up. This is the first time I'm ever able to see Sacramento this high up. It's gorgeous.
That's great. An anime con. Wow, that must be neat.
Oh, they love it. And it's great to see all the costumes too. It's really neat.
That's cool. Well, what kind of experience have you had?
So I lost my son in October of 2021. He was 35 years old, and it was very sudden and just
to you
thank
and your
you.
family.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Since that happened, I have orbs and beings, bizarre things happening every single day since that's happened. Starting the day that, well, at least that I realized, the day that I brought home his ashes. So I have, just the other day, I took a video and this orb shape shifted. It looked like, it's kind of funny, it looked like Pikachu, like some sort of animal, like a fox. And I don't know if I'm able to, I don't know how to work Zoom very well, but if I'm able to share, but I wanted to show, if I may.
All right, let me authorize it.
Sure.
Okay, and then you just have to click at the bottom, share screen. I don't know if you're on a PC or Mac. If you're on a PC.
I'm on my
iPad. Okay, there should be somewhere within the Zoom, it should say share screen, because I think I've done it with an iPad before.
Okay.
Do you see it anywhere?
Now I'm wondering if I'll probably have to pull it up here on my, how do I do this now?
So do you think your son is visiting you as an orb?
I really do. And the reason it was even more so apparent, we recently took a trip to Disneyland, and this is the first time we went back since he's passed. And he actually took us in 26 months or so before he passed. He said out of the blue, I want to take everybody to Disneyland. Let's go. So we went with him. Now fast forward to this time, and he has my granddaughter, a little girl. She was 5 at the time of his passing. She's 7 now. And we talk about him every day, and we share about him. And we were talking about him at Disneyland at our favorite little spot. We usually go the last day. And I said, well, think about him. I'm sure he'll, show up, and because he always does. And sure enough, I'm filming her too. I'm videoing her. And I said, are you thinking about him? And then I say, son, if you're around, show us that you're here. And an orb just flew right through her head. Oh, cool. And it's just the most incredible thing. So I really do think he is. I don't think it's just him. I think there's lots of spirits now. I think for some reason, this opened this door for me because now I'm getting, I think they call it clairaudient, where I'm hearing bizarre. I'm hearing a voice. It'll say sometimes it sounds very computerized, and it'll say like the door is open. The last one I heard said the door is now open. The door. Okay. And so it's a lot of different things that are going on. I'm getting lots of like I'll meet a person and I'll know things about them that I really shouldn't. I'll get really huge senses, and I've always been perceptive, but not like to this level. So it's just, I think his and my connection is very powerful, and now even in death I feel even closer to him than we were living, because I had him when I was 15. So we grew up in an interesting relationship. It was more sibling in the begining than mother-son, but as we got older, we repaired a lot of our relationship, and it's just incredible how I feel so much closer to him now. And I think what my intention with sharing is that it's helped me so much through the grief process. I wouldn't had I not looked at it this way, I don't know where I'd be today. I have 5 other children and I still don't know where I'd be today had he not let me know he's still here. He's still around. Yeah. Right. So I unfortunately I don't know how to
you don't know how to get it out. You don't know how to show it. Oh,
but
you don't see anywhere on your screen like video, microphone. It should say, usually it says, you'll see something that says share screen. You don't see that anywhere?
I see mute, stop video.
Okay.
Oh, wait, share content. Share content.
Here you go.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Photos. I put a bunch in videos. Let's see. Okay, I think I found it here. So I'm trying to look for the video part of it here because I have some stills of that particular one that just shape shifted into like 3-4 different things.
Okay.
So in the meantime, as I'm looking for the video, I don't know if I click on that, will that share? Yeah, the first time I have a daycare, and I was taking pictures of the daycare children, and I looked at them right away. It was a series of pictures, and I looked at them right away, and I see like a mist appear in the corner. And then my cousin, she either took color out, did something with the contrast, and it's my son's face, and he's like 12 years old in that, 11, 12 years old age group. You could see it. It's super clear. Okay, so I'm going to add the ones that I did. I'm not particularly sure if the video's in that one.
All right, here we go.
I'm going to, is it okay if I click on the share again to go look back and look for the video?
Yeah, because right now we're seeing your horoscope.
Oh, a horoscope thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this was, this is one of it. It's going up. See, that's my car right there, and it came from in I'll just scan through and see if I can find it, because this might be. There's it turning into something else. I don't know what.
Now, did you see this also with your naked eye?
I did not. No, I did not. The one with my granddaughter, I did see with my naked eye. Many of them I can't see. I can see with my naked eye. My younger son, he's able to see orbs with the naked eye. He'll literally talk to them and say, "Hey, orb," and he can see them perfectly. Oh, cool. It's hit and miss with me. It's hit and miss for some reason with me. Let's see. There's another. It kind of looks like a face towards the bottom. I don't know. It looks weird.
So were you just like, why were you filming that day?
So this is on my Ring camera. I film every minute of my days now, just because it's always around me. And I have I have 2 Ring cameras focused on me in my room, in my bedroom. And then I have one, this cam we always had, this is just on our car just for safety reasons. And then we have one on our front door. And that's actually when I started seeing these zipping orbs. I'll definitely see, this is the one I see just Pikachu.
So that looks like something from Anime Con.
Right, it does. It absolutely does. Yeah, it's just bizarre. I want to get it moving though. I don't know if this is it.
Here we go.
I'm not sure if this is it though. Let me try and add another. No, it's only showing photos. Does it? Maybe if I could do this. So I started posting them on YouTube, and I don't know if I could play a video that way because it doesn't say video. Does it allow you to play videos on this?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the tab, but I do it with, computers and stuff all the time.
Maybe it's the iCloud drive. Let me see if I can't move something in there real quick. Because that video is something else. And then I have they do tons of things. They circle me. I've seen, it looked like hieroglyphic to me, but I could be wrong. And then one shifted into like the initial of his name. It's just incredible. I get a lot of EVPs on them as well. Cool. Oh my gosh. One says, "Hey mom," and it's his voice. I sent it to my sisters. They're like, "That's his voice." They're floored by this because they don't believe it, yet they can't, it's like, it says yesterday, I didn't make this up. This is happening. And it's just really, really bizarre. Let me see. I'm still going in here to find that.
Sound like somebody was knocking at your door. Did you hear that?
No. Really? No.
I heard
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I honestly would not be surprised that a lot of times I'll go back and I won't hear it, as it's happening, but a lot of times I'll go back and I'll hear things. The interesting one, when I heard it in my ear, I was meditating at the time. I had my mask on, and like I said, I have a camera facing me this way and this way, because I like to see what they're doing cross ways. So if I could see an orb on this camera, will I be able to see it on this one? On this one, it's pixelated. On this one, it's a clear orb. And I have them to where they're split screen and you could see both directions. So I'm meditating and I hear that about the door. And I'm like, I thought it was a Sunday, so my husband and everybody are in church. And I pull out my earbud and I'm like, "Are you here?" Thinking my husband maybe came home early, and no one was there, no one at all. Then I go back, check the Ring cameras, and I hear that very same thing that was said in my ear on the Ring camera.
Wow.
Which is the same thing that happened with my granddaughter. I know some people may not agree with it, but I tell her, if you talk to him, he'll answer you. And I don't know sometimes why I even say that. I look back and I say, why did I say that to her? Because she's, at the time she's 5. What if he doesn't, But he did, and he does. So we're sitting there, it's on camera. And I said, talk to him. I said, look at the camera, talk to him. And she says something, then she gets excited. She says, oh. And I said, did he say something? She goes, yeah, he said, "I love you" in my ear. Sure enough, I go to the Ring camera and you hear clear as day, "I love you, Natalie."
Wow.
Because I thought she was just kidding me.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing.
It's just really, really amazing. I think. Okay, so there it is right here. So now let me try this if I can share the screen. Oops, did I click off my? Okay, there you are. Share content. Screen. Now tell me if you see start broadcast.
All right. Screen broadcast. Everything on your screen will not be will be recorded. Enable do not disturb.
So how do I gotta pull that thing down and put do not disturb?
I have no idea.
That's very bizarre. Let's see. Okay. Screen broadcast. Oh, maybe you know what I'm doing? Okay, I think I know what I did. Like I said, I don't know this too much here. I think I was just screen recording instead.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, okay, so let me try that one more time because I have it on my screen here, the video of that Pikachu one. And, okay, so let's go back to you and share content, screen. Yeah, it says everything on your screen, including notifications, will be so, and then it tells me start screen broadcast. Well, what I can do, I mean, I'd be happy to email it to you.
Well, maybe you'll have to figure it out and you can come back next week and we can try it again.
Definitely.
Maybe that'll be great.
You can use the computer.
Okay, yeah, maybe we can do it from your computer next Saturday.
I appreciate your time.
1 second. Someone wanted a question for her. Someone wants to know if you've posted the I Love You, Natalie audio on your YouTube channel.
I can't. I may have, but if I haven't, I haven't, and I will do it tonight.
Okay, what is the name of your YouTube channel?
He sent me Orbs because I couldn't figure out anything else to call.
Okay, so he sent me Orbs. Okay, great. All right, well, maybe we'll see you next Saturday.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, have fun at the con.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, cool. Give her a big round of applause. Now, John is here, and let's bring John right on, because John is, well, maybe he's got some live UFOs for us.
Hey, Jeff, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm trying to get all this working tonight.
All right.
But do you have my camera running? Yeah, you do. Okay.
Yeah, we do. I see what's going on.
Okay. Man, this was not easy to do, I got to tell you, but that's just an airplane.
Oh, okay.
And that's the nav again.
Wait, have you seen any UFOs tonight?
I saw one, and I tell you, I've been so busy trying to get this is my rig. It's got a Wi-Fi hotspot, and I've got a power supply, and my laptop, and a micro. It's the whole deal.
Wow.
So it should be really good, when our star family come by.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of getting into the mode right now, so it might be a minute or two. We'll see. How are you?
I'm great. We are great.
Okay. Hey, beautiful ones. I sure would love to see you tonight. Hey, Jeff, can you say hello to our star family and just give them a little bit about who you are?
Hello.
I got a speaker on.
Hello, star family. This is me, Jeff. I've been wanting to see you guys for a long time, and I hope that you will come by tonight and show yourself, and even more if you can blink for us.
That's our dear friend, Jeff. And his beautiful wife, Mara, helps as well. And it's such a pleasure, dear ones. We sure would love to see you tonight. It's a gorgeous, cool night out. And I'm just searching the sky as we speak. Hey, beautiful ones. Love y'all. So that's the Neb. And there's Vega up there. I'm gonna look through here. Can you see the stars okay, Jeff?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay.
And is that cloud coverage right there?
Yeah.
The white?
Uh-huh. And that's the horizon. There's just some trees over there.
All right, we're hoping that we're going to get a live UFO like we did last week.
Hey, sweet friends. Sure would love to see you tonight. If you could send the beautiful two or super sweet fast friend.
Are you still there? Well, there you are. It looked like, did you put the camera down, or did it just kind of locked up?
Can you see anything? Yeah. Oh, we're a bit unstable, I think, is what. Can you see anything now?
Yeah, I see everything.
Okay. Hey, beautiful ones. So this is a first attempt for me. This is a lot of equipment for me out here. So I explained everything before I started. And I hope they're cool with it. I think they will be.
Are you still going out every night and seeing them?
Every clear night. We've had a lot of, the hurricane came through, so it was really cloudy the last few nights. So this is my first night out in a few days now.
Oh, there we go. Well,
Not yet.
not yet.
I always talk to them whether
It
I see them or
always,
not.
your footage does, I wonder what the setting is. You get a little bit of like very light, I would say,
Yeah,
in the in the photo world, they may
I mean,
call that noise in the background.
Yeah, it's so dark out. But I just kind of keep it pointed up to the sky. I can't really, I see mostly you. Maybe if we can do a split screen, I can see what I'm.
Well, we have split screen. I'm just once you capture a UFO, I'll take myself out.
I got you. Okay. Ain't no promises.
You probably have a lot of light pollution there in Atlanta that you have to deal with.
We do. I mean, I can only see with my, with a naked eye, just the most basic of the constellations, but the cameras can see a lot more, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, and we had that full moon. It's not out tonight, which is helpful. Not quite full now, but
right. That would be amazing. It would be amazing if you went up to like the North Georgia mountains where it was like, was no light pollution.
I went up there for the asteroid, the meteor shower,
mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. And the star family were there right with the shooting stars too. I've got a couple videos of that. I haven't posted that yet, but they do that a lot. When there's meteors, I've got 4 or 5 where they somehow can anticipate the meteors coming through, the meteorites, and
mm-hmm.
they'll be right when I'm filming a meteorite will fly right through and next to them, which is kind of amazing. I should put a compilation video of that together. Jeff, if you want to go to another person, I can send you a text when I see something.
All
I
right.
don't want to take up all your time.
All right, man. I was gonna say, do you have? I don't know. Do you have my number to text me?
I do.
Okay.
I think I do. I'll send you a Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. That'd be perfect. Message me on Facebook if something pops up.
I'll do it.
I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, okay?
Very good.
All right, so maybe we will get a live UFO tonight like we did last Saturday. And if you didn't see it, you might want to check it out. This JB360 person was here, and she said she was here for Pam, and I removed her from the room, but it looks like she's back. Maybe we'll see what's up. Hello, JB?
Oh, yes.
Did you see Pam?
Well, I know of Penn on the internet.
Weren't you here to see Pam?
Oh, I was here earlier, and I did hear your interview of Pam.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to go ahead, and even though it was a mistake for her to send this to us,
mm-hmm.
try to contribute to your podcast.
Okay.
About the relationship that I have continued with my husband for 2 years.
All right.
And
that sounds great. Let me turn on your camera so we can chit chat with you.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you were still, kind of stuck with waiting for Pam or not. So that's why before I brought you on in, I asked, are you still here for Pam or what?
Yeah, I came back after the interview and listening to you. I haven't listened to you for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go ahead and come back see if you're interested.
Yeah. So your husband is on the other side.
Yes.
Were you previously psychic or had any ability, or this has just been a spontaneous thing for you?
Well, let me say, I lost you. Let me come back to you.
Okay. I still see you just fine.
Well, if you see me, then everything's fine. I was moving away to do something. That's okay. I can't see you. I don't know where it is.
It's just it's one of your windows behind it.
I can see a delayed thing on my phone. I want to say that I did not know I had any psychic abilities. And when I was in my 20s, my dad passed away. I'm going to give you a series of things that leads to today. When I was in my 20s, my dad passed away. And I was at my mom's house. He was in the hospital. I spent the last 4 nights with him. He dies. We show up the next morning. He's gone, physically dies. And I stay with my mom for 2-3 days. And I drove home because I had a young son at home that my husband was watching at the time, I get home. Now, understand, I didn't know anything about this kind of stuff. Had no idea this was going to happen. I fall asleep the first night that I'm home. I want to say that I didn't smoke. My husband didn't smoke. I'm waking up the next morning, and that in-between stage of being half asleep, half awake, I suddenly smelled cigarette smoke in the house that none of us smoked. And I knew I was half asleep and half awake. So I woke myself the rest of the way. So I started smelling with my nose. There was no smoke in the house. And I went, what is going on? Now, my dad did die from smoking. So I thought, no way. I'm in my late 20s and I didn't think much about it. My day begins. I've got a young child. I think I'm pregnant with the second one by then. I have another night where the second night I wake up, but I'm half asleep and half awake. I'm smelling smoke and I realize, my God, I'm smelling it inside of me. I'm not, whatever that was, which I now will say that was my consciousness. And I wake myself up again the second morning in a row and I smell again in the room. This is early morning. There's nobody outside. There it is again. I'm smelling smoke, but this time I recognize it's not through my nostrils. Oh my God. And I said to myself then, because I'm pretty open-minded, even all of this was new to me, that has to be my dad telling me he's okay. That he went somewhere. And he was deathly afraid of death. I didn't know what to believe. So fast forward, I think that was the late 70s. In the 80s, I read Life After Life by Raymond Moody. Very open to it. It made complete sense to me. Again, I've never read about this, never heard of it, but it made complete sense to me. And then I read, I think maybe in the 80s, is that when he wrote it? Eben Alexander, about the neurosurgeon. That made complete sense to me. Again, I've never heard of this. It just made sense to me. And then life goes on because I'm raising children. I had 3 children and I'm very busy. My first marriage was awful. That's when all this was going on, but he was open-minded to things like this, but it was time to end that marriage. And I'm writing about this, and I ended I am in the process of ending the marriage. And I go on an archaeological dig because I'm very big into archaeology. I participate in a dig.
Cool.
And here comes the third strange thing in my life, that a man shows up that I did not know. He shows up for this dig. I did not know him. I've never met him before. But suddenly I felt extremely comfortable with this man. I felt like I'd known him before, but I questioned that. I don't know this man. Why am I feeling comfortable with him? Why do I feel like I've known him before when I don't recall ever meeting him? Well, it was so bizarre. We were only there 2 weeks that it felt weird. I've known this guy before. I don't know how. I'm very comfortable with him. I did not believe in reincarnation, but this struck me. So this is a third event, and we got married.
Wow.
I would say he was the love of my life.
That's awesome.
And we get married, and it was so different than my first husband. The whole thing was different, and it was just transcendental. And I don't know anything about any of this. I'm just going for the ride in my life. Well, what I did not know when I married the love of my life is he had gotten Agent Orange. He was older than me in the early 60s before we knew we were in Vietnam. And I didn't know that about him. But long story short, we had the most wonderful love story for 25 years, and he dies. Mm-hmm. He passes, his body dies. I'm there with him, and nothing psychic happened with that, but it was a very hard death for me because this is the love of my life. We didn't talk about things like this. I was so busy being happy that I wasn't thinking about my previous experiences. So he physically dies. Nothing exceptional happened. But 6 weeks later, here comes the fourth thing in my life. I had hired a therapist. I knew I needed somebody to help me get through this, the grief. It was 6 weeks past his death. I'm on Zoom with her, just like I'm on Zoom with you. Mm-hmm. And I'm bawling because I'm deep in grief. And things are starting to come back to me, but not terribly strongly, about what had happened to me previous. And my therapist did not tell me that she's been psychic her whole life, that she had always been able to see her orbs. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I'm bawling. And she says to me, "My God." I said, "What?" She said, "There is an orb coming around your left side and going in front of you." I went, "What?" And I stood up to look out the window, which is on the other side of my laptop. It's a cloudy day. There were no cars going by. Nothing explained that. And all of a sudden she goes, "Oh my God, there's another one coming around you on your right side." And apparently that kept going on. And I didn't see this, but she did. This is a woman of high integrity. She finally admitted to me she's always been able to see orbs. She used to see spirits, but her mother discouraged her. Happened 3 times. And I said, "Oh my God, that has to be my husband." Wow. Because he was a sweetheart. He was so sensitive. I had no doubt it was him. And that started me back again. This is my 4th experience. I'm older now at that time, because I was married to him for 25 years. This is my 2nd marriage, the love of my life. And I knew it had to be him. And then she sees there is a door, not here, but there was a door behind me to my kitchen. She sees an orb behind me, following alongside the refrigerator, going around it, going over here to the corner, turning, going behind me. She's watching an orb explore my kitchen. Wow, cool. Now I know who that was now, but I didn't know then. So I'm still deep in grief, but I'm beginning to be aware there's something weird going on here that has happened to me. I smelled my dad's smoke. I totally identified with life after life. I identified with Eben Alexander with no problem identifying with this. Then this orbs with my husband. He's been gone 6 weeks. Then I became very open that what is going on here? He didn't die. Mm-hmm. So the next thing that happens in my journey, and I'll be out 2 years in October. This is how recent. I don't remember how much time went by, Jeff. I started hearing him talk to me in my consciousness. I heard his voice. I knew when he was around me. I had no doubts. My husband was there, was around me. And we could converse in my head. That was the 5th thing, that I could hear him talking to me. It was kind of disconcerting. So I didn't do well at responding to him, but I started working on it. I've been in conversation with my husband for almost, it would be not quite 2 years, because it'll be 2 years next month. I talked to him. So that's when I found out about Pam Johnson, who was your guest earlier. That's why she gave us the wrong link. But so I understood why I was disconnected, because this was about Pam. And I wanted to go ahead and try to get on to share that I'm an intellect. I'm an egghead. And I will always tend to doubt things first. I want to prove it to me that this is real. And I have no doubt it's real. I've had different things happen since he passed, since he, what they call transition. Mm-hmm. I know some of the people that you've interviewed also have had that. One's name was Mindy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to tell you, I've had several incidences of losing things since he physically died, not knowing where they are. And I'll be walking down a familiar pathway in my house, and suddenly there it is on the floor. And I know it wasn't there before. Oh my God, what is this?
That's well. Has he shared with you anything about the future? Any future events? Or
No.
if not, what is the most surprising or shocking thing he has shared with you?
He really doesn't get into things like that. My husband was a cowboy. I'm a white collar intellect. And he wasn't like that when he was here. So we haven't gotten into future stuff. I probably should ask him see. But I want to tell you what happened this morning. Now, there are periods things go on, there are periods things that don't. I play a hammer dulcimer.
Cool.
The hammer dulcimer is in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
There's stairs that go up to my bedroom. Now, understand this, a lot of things like this happen with other things in the house. And then there's been a period, though I continue to hear him in my consciousness talking to me, nothing else like that's going on until this morning. I wake up and I had the fan going because it gets hot at night. And I thought, well, I want to get up and turn off the fan. Now I have to walk. There's a table next to me by my bed. Next to that is my hammer dulcimer. And I have not played that since he left. I just haven't been wanting to play it yet. I keep the hammers, that's what you play on the strings, on the table. So there's the table next to me. I had to walk past that, past the hammer dulcimer. Now I keep the hammers on the table. I turn left and I'm probably 3 feet away from the stairs, and I nearly stopped dead in my tracks. On the floor, and this happened this morning, I nearly died. Those hammer dulcimers, there's 2 of them, and that's what you hit the strings with. They were almost in perfect alignment, sitting on the floor, side by side. I just went, oh my God, looking down at them. Now understand that when I came up to bed last night, I had something heavy that was a bedspread set. And it was so heavy, I would move it up 1 step at a time. And I got to the top of the steps. It was so heavy, I pushed it, and I would have pushed it right where those hammer dulcimers, those hammers are. They were not there when I came up to bed. I went to brush my teeth to get ready for bed. I did not walk over there. I walked by my bed, went to sleep. I slept all night long. I usually do. I wake up, and there are those hammers side by side on the floor, not a foot away from the top of the stairs.
So do you think he's just trying to contact you, or he wants you to start playing again?
Well, I interpreted that he wants me to start playing again.
That's great.
Because there's a history of things appearing that weren't there before. Now, it's been a long time since it's happened, but all I can conclude, now this is we're always just trying to guess that he's always had that talent to move things. But there's too many things that have happened that I can't explain. And this morning's was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
That's amazing.
So I'm just here to say it's happened to me. I can still converse with him in my head. I know when he's around. And Pam Johnson got it right. She's a channeler, and I don't channel, but she apparently knew about this. And I just wanted to tell your listeners that it's happened to me. I'm just a regular person like anybody. And I have no doubt that's him.
Well, I really liked what Pam said today about that more and more people are able to do it now because of the ascension. And
I don't have an answer, but it does appear that way.
Maybe more and more people are now going to come out of the closet and start sharing this.
I hope so. And I wanted to start.
Thank you.
And I am writing a book.
Well, you need to come, once it's finished, come back on Saturday night and you can plug it.
I will, because I want to get it out by early next year, and I will let you know.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing. I've got to run. I've got 6 people waiting on me.
All right.
But have a great rest of your weekend.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And give her a big round of applause. All right, we've got a lot of people here. And we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, we can edit it. It's a little bit of a drag that I have to lose what we've already got so far, but is what it is. And I guess I have to be very, very careful with screen sharing. Very careful. They do? I don't know how either. I mean, when they have the screen share disabled, they can't share their screen. I literally had it enabled for the previous guest. And then when I came, this person, I mean, maybe this person was watching. I mean, just watching, waiting. The person may have thought, wow, they finally got me because of the screen share. What timing? Anyways, Lily Fox, are you here? Maybe I should put Lily Fox. I'm going to put Lily Fox back in the waiting room because we are deep into overtime. And we're getting into overtime. And I just need to keep moving. We have a lot of people here. Let's see who Chris is. And that was exciting for the chat. Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Jeff. The YouTube video stopped, and I'm looking for the actual. Hi. You can't see me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, are you looking for Pam or what?
I'm Chris.
Oh, you're Chris. All right.
I'm Chris. Yeah, I see my name, but I don't see my face. I don't know why that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me turn it on.
I'm not an expert at this.
Where are you? Where are you zooming?
This is a thrill.
Where are you zooming from?
Vermont.
What would you like?
And this is a thrill that I got through.
What would you like to share today?
Well, I want to tell you something that I got interested in your podcast because in my spiritual journey, I was very interested in near-death experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Start my video. I'm gonna press start my video.
Yeah.
See if that works. I don't look too good, right? It's been a long day, but and you are the greatest listener.
Who is?
And you.
Oh, thank you.
You listen to people and you hear them. And this is the first thing I want to say. It's not what I want to talk to you about. I just want to tell you something concise. One of the biggest problems we have with our world today is people have forgotten how to listen to each other. It's very difficult. It takes a lot of energy and attention to get out of your own mind.
Yes.
And actually hear. And you are a great listener.
Thank you.
You're so patient. I aspire to be like you. It's a wonderful gift. And we all need to be more into hearing what other people have to say than telling them about ourselves, right?
Right.
So what I want to share, and I want you to interrupt me because I'm a rambler and my brain darts all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Interrupt me because there's only one short. I could tell you 1,000 things about my spiritual journey that I wish would be helpful to others, but there's one specific thing, and it's because of near-death experience stories that I've sought to learn from.
So
right?
you from listening to near-death experience stories, that has changed you.
It is extremely helpful in my It started with a TV show. It's funny how, like, I'm going to say things that may not be politically correct, but it's just part of my journey, and I'm not trying to offend or hurt anyone. I was taught wrong Christian teachings. Not that they're all wrong, but I was taught the opposite of what, and I've been battling that my whole lifetime. And so I was angry at God, I didn't believe in God and all this stuff, right? And I've been on a spiritual journey of searching. I've studied all these different things and blah, 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 right? I have a problem because I lean on my own intellect too much. That's not always a good thing. I'm rambling, see? I just want to tell about, okay, so near-death experience stories. I mean, because there was a show called I Survived back in the day, a long time ago.
I think I remember that.
And I remember how people, you would think, right? We have a lot of fear in the world, and that's a big problem, right? Fear is a blinder. Fear confuses us and messes us up. And this show showed me, like, the one particular thing I remember was a fella saying he was working back in the day when they had carburetors, right? Old cars. He was working on his car, and he was in love with this woman, and he asked her to start the car while he was working on the car. And the carburetor exploded, and the man caught on fire. And he felt no pain. And all he remembered was looking at her and thinking, I don't want to leave her. So any of us looking at this man on fire would think, oh my gosh, he's in horrible pain. We all imagine what it would be like. But unless you're in the situation, see, that's where grace comes in, that we don't understand it in our carnal human minds. We can't really comprehend grace unless we've experienced it. And I had an experience. It was not a near-death experience, but I've never heard anybody talk about something like this that wasn't a near-death experience, okay? Is that I live in I made a huge mistake moving to a very rural area where things just have not really gone well for me. It's been a really great spiritual journey, but it's been really hard, right? And I lost my vehicle, and I had to walk to the store, and it's a narrow road where people fly. And I had two choices between two coats. I knew as I was walking in the daylight that when I would be coming back, it'd be coming in the dark. One coat was a white and black coat, and one coat was a black coat. The white and black coat would have helped drivers see me, but it was dirty. So knowing full well I was choosing the wrong thing, I chose the black coat because I didn't want to be judged as dirty. I come from a family of clean freaks, right? And it was very important to me not to be judged as dirty. So I walked to the store. It was far. It was cold. The road's covered with snow, very narrow. And on the way back, a truck. It wasn't a pickup truck, and it wasn't a tractor trailer. It was like in between. It had a big mirror on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It hit me really hard on the arm. Hard. And in that moment, I experienced my spirit separate from myself, Christine, the person. And there's a reason why that's important, because a lot of people try to say this doesn't matter why we're here. It's all a game. No, it's not. It matters. Every tear, every child, every human matters. It matters why we're here. So I'm not saying it was two different. I care about that, but there was a separation. Myself, I kind of was raised in West Virginia and New Jersey, so it's kind of crazy. But I raised by New York, so I kind of had a very New York reaction. Like I started cursing and yelling, right, at the truck because he didn't stop. He hit a human, didn't stop, and it hurt. But my spirit was observing it. There was and laughing.
That's interesting.
And I knew it was a knowing, because I'm always a basket case. I'm neurotic. I think, overthink everything. It's crippling. But there's a different kind of knowing, a truth that we're all given. My personal beliefs, which I don't push on anyone else. I am not here to preach to anyone. My personal belief, which comes and goes, is that there is one God, right? 2 weeks ago I was saying there is no God, right? So it's a struggle, it's a battle. But in this time, that truth, that knowing, which I think is an intuition, it's not intellectual like the apple and the knowing part, that Adam and Eve, right? That there's a knowing that God gives us, an intuition that we've, through TV and all this shit, we kind of lose touch with that intuition, that knowing. Well, in that moment, I knew my spirit was laughing because God was going, here's a lesson for you. You put my child in danger. And she's my child. And I observed, I didn't leave my body. I don't even know how to explain it. You know how you have so many people on here that say when you have that near-death experience, there's like a 3D vision, like you don't look in a linear fashion.
Right.
You've heard that 1,000 times. It was like that. It's so hard to describe, but it was like that. It was like here, but it was me laughing at me. But it wasn't that me was a joke. God was saying, this person, the flesh, the blood, I put her in danger. I made a bad decision worrying about what people thought, and I didn't take care of myself. And the laughter, it was like, all right, that was like a direct communication from God. Like, you put my kid in danger. It was almost like the spirit had a response. I've never actually gotten this far with this until I talked to you, but you're so great and patient. Is that I actually never saw it this way before. I always wondered about it. Like that God wasn't, this spirit part was in connection with him. And like I knew he was going, yeah, well, look what you did. I didn't get broken arm or nothing. I should have. It hurt really hard. Like it was hard, but there was not really pain. I understood it was an impact that probably should have broke my arm, but I also knew and understood God was saying to me, you put my child in danger, which I'm realizing this as I'm talking to you. So it's awesome. Okay. Is, that child mattered. Cause it was like, did you ever see with, Dustin Hoffman, it's a movie with a cowboy guy. It's a really old movie. And he's crossing the street and a taxi hits him. And he goes, oh, I'm walking here. Dustin Hoffman. I forget the name of the movie.
I don't know that movie.
Well, anyway, but it's like in New York, like, oh, I'm walking here, right? Well, that's what I did. I cursed and yelled. My body, my physical form, cursed and yelled, but my spirit was laughing because I knew that God was showing me something.
Right. Let me stop you. Let me stop you for 1 second. Were you here? Were you here at the very beginning when we were speaking to Levin?
I wasn't. No, I just popped in, and I'm shocked that you even answered my call. I just was looking through my.
Well, when you,
I apologize. Well,
you should go back and watch it.
Okay.
And when this is over, I've got to take the video down and edit something out and then put it back up. So you just give it a little time. But we were talking about, and actually he was talking, I was listening, that, and it's almost explaining you. It's like our brain and our brain is on automatic pilot, talking like you were on automatic pilot, cursing the truck.
Conditioned machine.
But your awareness was watching it happen. And so we kind of talk, and it's almost like you're saying it's God, but I mean, maybe your awareness was actually watching you react to what happened.
Oh, it was absolutely a direct message from God. It was, and believe me, I am the last person to be like, I'm not a big fan of Christians, to tell you the truth. All right. However, in my spiritual journey, I have found, I don't know. There's so much I could say, and I don't want to ramble and babble, but no, it was a direct communication. It was a direct communication. And,
well, maybe you had almost like maybe you had like a mini NDE because you were hit by a car.
That's what blows my mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you were hit by a vehicle, and I was with a guest earlier. This is just me and the guest before we were talking, and we were talking about that really there should be two classifications, an NDE and then a death experience. For the people who are clinically dead and brought back there, they should maybe be classified as the death experience. And something like you,
I was dead
something
once,
like you were like a near death in a way.
I was dead once, and I'm mad that I didn't get near. I don't remember. I died when I was 15. I overdosed. I was in a coma. I was brain dead, and I was pissed that I woke up. And after listening to hundreds of and you're the best podcast by far. I recommend you my sister who's struggling with her husband's suicide. She watches searching. You've been a huge help to people. And I would love to be able to personally ask your advice out on another personally, like how you're such a good listener, because I really want to learn to be a better listener because I'm so ego driven.
What I learned is I read the book I think it's How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's about sales and stuff or whatever. I can't remember who. It's a very, very famous book, but it struck me.
I know I have it, and I'm embarrassed.
But it struck me when I was about 18, when I read it, probably somewhere around there, that the guy said it's better to be interested in people than trying to be interesting to them.
And all I do is try to entertain, and then I can't make connections with people. I make jokes. I was class clown, I was a fat kid. So, and I'm so trying to prove that I'm not a loser.
Well,
that I can never, there's a general store down the street, and I nervous babble. I'm so thrilled to be talking. I'm trying, definitely interrupt me because I nervous babble. That's one of my coping mechanisms that's not functioning for me great. Right. And so every time when I had a car, every time I go to the general store, I'd say, Chris, pay attention to them. Don't start rambling. Ask them how their day was. And so I would say it to myself, and as soon as I walk through that door, boom, blah, 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 entertaining them, and, because I was so insecure, so I don't want to call it narcissistic because everyone's struggling. I don't like name calling. We're all narcissistic in a sense. Like, stop pointing fingers, right? It's mean. I see the narcissist thrown. Yeah, but it becomes like a self. I'm trying to not show how I feel, that I feel like a loser. So I am very self-involved, and I don't give them the attention. And I've never been able to do it. Every time I walk through the doors of that store, and then I walk out, and I'd be like, I did it again. So what you're saying logically makes perfect sense to me, and yet there's some kind of. Am I making you? I'm like,
no, you're fine. No, I was just going to add. I wanted to add something real quick that. A lot of people don't know that I'm also a chiropractor. I keep a license. I don't practice anymore. I did a couple of years ago. I covered someone's office. But even through my 20 years, I personally just enjoy people. And I enjoy my patients' lives. I mean, I just enjoy, as much as treating them, I enjoyed hearing about their life, what they were up to. People will pop in when they're hurting and I haven't seen him in a long time, and I just generally enjoy learning.
Because you're not neurotic.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I enjoy people, and I want to say that I think that everybody has a story just as interesting as mine, or just as interesting as yours or anybody else's. Everybody has an interesting story.
Well, now can I say something really weird?
Yes, but quickly, because I've got to run.
Okay. Is that I've been told weird things by therapists and stuff that I've had the worst story they've heard in 20 years. Like, I just want to be normal. I get messages. I had one tell me I'm one of the 5% that's supposed to awaken the world. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I just want to be normal. So yeah, I do think I think everyone has genius, right? There's something in you where you have a calm confidence that like Gregory Peck or somebody, that you don't need to prove who you are. That's something a gift you have that more of us need. And you're a good listener, and maybe you should teach us more, because you have that ability that you have to not is precious, and we all need it more. We need to stop paying therapists. We need to learn to listen to each other. But when I do want to be very clear about the fact that the laughter was directly from God. There is a creator. I don't care what you want to call him. If God is a generic term, there's lots of gods. Whatever we give our attention to is our God.
Right.
So God, whatever his name is, supposedly we're not supposed to know it, right? It's too precious. But and when I'm in an okay state of mind, I have had wild spiritual experiences, and that's for another day. You don't have time, but definitely, that confidence, that ability for you to be generous is because you have something I don't have, and I would love to learn more about that. I would love to learn how to not need to prove that I'm not a loser or something. I'm using stupid words, but that is a gift you have, and humans don't listen to each other. That's why everybody's going to therapists, and that's why we're in a huge mental illness crisis.
Right.
I want to be a better listener.
Right. I am so sorry, Chris. I have to run.
No, it's great.
But I just want you to.
Awesome.
You're awesome. You're not a loser. You're an amazing person. And I wish you the best. And come back anytime.
Thank you. God bless.
Right.
You're
God
helping
bless
so
you.
many people.
I thank
Take
you.
good care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Chris. And we'll give her a big round of applause. And let's see here. Michael was here. Michael Suarez, the dream detective himself. And where is he? Michael.
Hey.
Hi, Michael. How's it going?
Good. I'm coming on right now.
Right now.
All right.
There you are.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening,
Good
Jeff,
evening.
Mara.
All right.
Appreciate seeing you guys.
She says hello.
I just so just good evening first. I guess I'll just go into a few things. One, it was beautiful. Despite everything that happened tonight, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna refocus.
What a bummer for
especially on the blessing of the people visiting in. All of the different people from the that's been on the show, people that are in the chat, people that are in the Discord, really the community. It really did my heart good to see their beautiful faces and to see, them then actually call in on the show.
Yeah, that's amazing. That was awesome.
Yeah. So that said, there was that issue, that snafu, and I'm sorry about that. I will say, just as a quick, business note, this is right. It's not the first time I've seen the type of stream you do, right? Where you have guests,
right?
And I don't know what the technology is, but maybe it's something like it's a little bit more technology, like an OBS, where I've seen people who can screen and see the person, and they make the person show themselves before the audience sees them.
Well, you have a great point, but it was a week or two ago. It was even looked like a normal person. I don't know if you were here that day, where he was just seemed like a regular guy. Yes. So even at that, I mean, even if you see him with some person saying obscenities, and it's very difficult. Today, what happened today, it's just the person got lucky. This person got really lucky because somehow he got in line right after this other person that was sharing their screen. And as soon as I popped back, I forgot to turn off that anybody can share their screen. So the guy or girl, whoever, got really lucky because they were right in line.
Sorry, Spirit Fam. The Spirit Fam was like, mostly having revulsions.
So, I had forgotten for some reason, how I was like trying to get him to turn off the camera. And I just realized, it took me for a second to realize I just have to remove the person. I was trying to just shut down the camera. But, I hadn't had a problem like that. That problem happened before I think I ever met you. A couple years ago, I couldn't stop it. I didn't know how to stop it. And I just shut down the Saturday Night Live for about a month or so until I figured it out.
Well, I think, Jeff, almost real quick, as you were talking about this evening when we opened, you said we can believe to double the amount of people. I think the more you think about that, and as an exercise of faith, you all want to think about the screening, because it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Right.
And if you could at least, what I used to see this guy Kevin Samuels do is he used to, if he thought anything was up, he'd be like, come talk to me for a second. So the person would be like, oh, hi, I'm on. And then he would, if everything was fine, he would move it over. Right. Sometimes people
I don't really know how to do that. Yeah. The lucky thing is the way the radio shows go, they have a dump button because the radio has like a delay.
Yeah.
And then they can they can dump it. And I'm using OBS, but there's no delay dump button where I can,
Yeah.
And I'm going from OBS into YouTube, and there just isn't a delay. I wish there was. And I don't even know where would the delay have to be. Would it have to be? I'd have to be on YouTube's end, probably.
Well, again, the way that Kevin, or this person who I used to see it had it set up, was he used to see it almost like I have two screens here. Like he used to see it on his screen before he sort of allowed it to be showed to the audience. And he said he was using OBS.
Right. And Yeah, I could probably figure something out if I got a second monitor. I'd have to get a second monitor and have OBS on a second monitor, and then somehow I would probably have to mute the screen, what people see on YouTube first. I'd have to like blank the screen, probably I'd have to do something like this. I'd have to go and go to here, which you're not seeing this, but the audience is seeing this starting soon. And then while they do that, go look at something else to get them back.
Jeff, I don't want to take up too much time. I just wanted to offer that as like a kind of possible solution, especially in the light of future growth.
Right.
And how fascinating. I was a little freaked out too when what a show this has been. When we first opened up and there was 14 people you said in the waiting room, I was like, what on earth?
Yeah. I already thought I was like, for some reason I
forget, I had an idea, and actually I am here to talk about a particular thing, but since we're on the business stuff, just going through this as Soul Fam, one other quick thing. In my opinion, as a person who goes to the show, who's on the Discord and who hears people, I think actually that you having a longer show could be beneficial, right?
Go longer than 2 hours. Yeah, if a lot of people stay, it just depends, I mean, I usually just stop when people stop coming.
Yeah. So maybe it's just sort of having that expectation, because I was timing it out and I was like, 8 people would be 2 hours. And do you usually get more than 8 people?
Right.
But anyway, speaking of that, I don't want to keep us here forever. And I do have a particular spiritual insight, which is different from a lot of what's been talked about, but it is what's going on in my life. And an insight that I had while I was actually sharing a wonderful conversation on the Discord.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Suarez. I am the dream detective. I have interpreted hundreds of dreams, and by this made certain clear statements, such as all dreams are meaningful, we can interpret them. And right now I'm in this process. I've written a few books, 2 books so far on dreams. The last one was Dream Detective Volume 1. I'm currently working on finishing up Dream Detective Volume 2. And that's, I'm still working on the title, but it's Love, Sex, and the Pursuit of Becoming Whole, something like that. So that's what that set of dreams is about, right? So all the dreams are related to love, people wanting to get married, people feel that they are getting cheated on, etc. It's been fascinating. Now, as part of this, going into deep meditation and reflection on this subject has also opened me as an intuitive being to certain knowledge. Now, what I'm going to say, it will sound speculative, so in a way, it's like a take it or leave it. However, it is made more intriguing by the things that are backing it up, like things that happen to line up with what I'm saying. So the insight that I received as I've been studying is that human beings used to be one being, right? They used to be one being. Now the mythology of this, which was given in this book called The Symposium, is human beings used to be one being. They were made into 2, and thus they ever eternally are seeking to be made whole. So that's what we experience here. We're seeking to be made whole, and we think it can be made first sexually. But now that one itself is interesting, but what I want to address is a little deeper and different. What was shown to me most recently was that we had a stage historically where we were one being, like we were clairvoyant with one another, right? Now, this is related to dream interpretation because the idea is our language was symbols. We just simply thought to each other. Right. Now, let's make this really clear and simple for all of us to understand. We were like the birds, when they're following each other, or a school of fish. How are they doing that? Let's think about this. They're not physically attached. They have a concept of one mind, right? And we experience this now. It's kind of like you're thinking about somebody and you're intuitive, and then they call you, right? Those sort of connections. That's because those are energetic fields that are interacting. So what's most fascinating, the insight that I got, and I don't know, it blew me away, and then I wanted to share about it because I think it's such a deep insight into what's happening with dreams and what's happening with us as a species. Is so we were separate physically, but we had like a singular mind, like the animals did. Okay. And then this is talked about biblically when it says that we were building a tower, the Tower of Babel, and the scripture says that God went down and confounded their language. This refers to the fact that we used to speak, Jeff, by thinking with each other. Right? That's when we were that type of being, like those birds, like those creatures, like the insects. Then it was given unto us to be separated. Units of consciousness is one of the terms that people use for it now, right? Where we're now individual, and this is a type of trial, a type of thing, a type of struggle where we become like caterpillar becomes butterfly. See, but that's what's happened. So it's interesting because even before I had sort of understood this, I was seeing that in dreams are language, and they're speaking in these wonderful, perfect symbols, right? They're speaking in these wonderful symbols, and if I told you, I would have to tell you 1,000 words to just really much more to cover one of those symbols, right? I'll just give a quick example of what I mean by that to make it practical. So one day I was meditating, I was writing up people's dreams, right? Which is I always do. Once I do an interpretation for somebody, I write up their dream. And I was writing up this person's dream, which was a dream about going home, and there were some horses in it. And as I was writing it up, all of a sudden the imagery of it launched into my mind, like it launched into my eyes. And it hit me so hard that I started hyperventilating. I was like, I got pushed away from the table, and I just got up and I was crying. And I didn't understand for a little while what had happened, but now I do. The image of those horses like trotting in this maudlin field spoke all the pain that was in that dream. You see, I had already interpreted that dream. But when I went back and I was writing it up, I went into her imagination. And it spoke to me like her pain. It swept over me. I knew it. Right? And that's the language I'm talking about. That is actually our original language. When now for you and for especially this community, this becomes interesting when we what happens when we go back home from an NDE perspective. Everybody says, if there's one thing people say, like nobody agrees on stuff, I think everybody agrees that we talk through telepathy, right? That maybe we got to check with PDP. I think that may be one of the most top common things. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say that we didn't talk with telepathy.
Right.
So anyway, hopefully this made sense. It was just something that I had experienced as I've been, like I said, working on this book and going through these energetic processes. And I thought it could be fun to share despite the interesting night.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We appreciate you, and I've got to run. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you next Saturday.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. If you guys need to know more about dreams, the Dream Detective, give him a view. Go check out his YouTube channel and whatever else he's up to.
Check out my Instagram. I'm posting there a lot, and I'm going to be talking a lot about the fascinating subject of sex and romance and love and lust and dreams. So good night, everybody. I love you.
We love you. Bye-bye. A big round of applause for Michael. Don't report. All right, Mr. Cake's here. And then Leslie Kings has returned. We will see what Leslie's up to. And if Leslie's back to performing again. Knew he took a break for a while. I'm here, but my mind is out to lunch.
Yes.
Are you back from lunch? Uh-oh,
no,
we've got
we're
Orbs.
at the Ions after party.
You're at the Ions after party?
That's a big rave out here.
You're raving out there. That's funny.
We're raving mad. We're raving mad. Man, man was in the gold today, man. Pretty noise out there, Let's see what we can do.
Wait, I gotta give you some music. There we go. I wish you could hear the music.
Lunch break. How long can we go?
It's Stephen and the Orbs.
1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now here we go.
It sounds like a 60s band, Stephen and the Orbs.
Holy, holy, hallelujah.
What are you doing? 4?
That's 4 right now. I was doing 5. So I can look around when I'm doing 4.
4 is more. What is your record?
Well, I say I'm not going for numbers. I'm going for the amount of tricks I can do. So for the last 3 years, I've been trying to learn at least 1 trick a day.
Yeah.
And I've been recording. So I usually record just on my little laptop here. And then what I do is I make some TikTok videos or put them on YouTube. Because during my enlightenment, darling, what they did is they just made it easier for me to do things.
From your enlightenment.
It's...
Now, can you do Trump while you're juggling?
Let me tell you something, folks. Okay, we're going to do something very large here, folks. Very huge. You're going to love it, folks. I raised 3 balls up in the air with 1 hand. All right, sometimes we drop 1, but that's not a big deal because they're not going down a hill. And the first rule of juggling club is don't juggle on a hill because if that ball, they go flying. Say that.
Did you play golf today? Did you get in 9?
And I'm getting very, very good. Too good. Let's just say that.
At golf?
Oh, yeah. I'm hitting from the blue tees, and I'll put like 2 balls right on the pin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Capable, like Tiger Woods. In my mind, I said I get hijacked. So it's Jeff, I'm no longer by myself anymore. I got a little friend here with me. She's just special to me, and I love her very much.
Who's with you?
Oh, it's just me, darling. I feel like I have a spirit with me. It's like I don't feel alone anymore.
You feel like you have a being with you?
Yes, but they gave me a mind that corrects me. So if I say, well, who's holding my hand? Who's sitting on my bed? And they'll say, nobody. It's just happening. And I come up with beliefs because they keep telling me about the truth. Here's the truth. Because I said I wanted the truth. People keep saying they want the truth. And I said, well, you can't really have the truth. You have to believe. You have to believe you can do it.
Now, it's not Monique that's with you, is it? She isn't back, is she?
She's always here, Jeff. But you know what? I said that's who I believed was with me. And I think reality is just kind of manifesting that. Like, I don't believe that, see, they won't let me say everything, but I say that reality is manifesting around what we want. And they won't let me say it. Because I say they took over my mind, my body, my voice. So it's no longer just me anymore. It's not, I say it's Steve plus
1.
I'm trying to get a word out. They won't let me say it.
So are you saying that you were manifesting her? You were manifesting Monique?
Yeah, but not intentionally. See, it's not like we're like, I'm going to manifest this thing. It just happens. It's just part of reality. I say reality knows more than we do. They won't let me even say that. Can I say this one? Nope. Because I say they
Why
do
are
two
they
things.
preventing you from talking tonight?
Well, see, it's because they don't want me saying. They say it's just not appropriate. Yeah, that's basically it. They just say it's just not appropriate on the show. They want me to have my own. Nope, they won't let me say my own show, Jeff. I should have my own show called The Steve Cake, the greatest hour on the planet.
You should do that. Well, I've been telling everybody about your YouTube channel. Are you still posting the walk and talks?
I haven't been doing too much.
Why?
But well, see, I feel like I only have so much with my problems. I can only I say my problems can't be Googled. I say like all my problems. I go like there's the general like pain and suffering, but it's like what my problems are. It's like they. That's why I beg God. That, things weren't getting better; they were getting worse every day, and I to die. We're channeling a lot of people here.
I wonder if people would love to see you make golf videos.
So I have made a few, but it's like I actually watch golf vlogs, and I said that's if I did that, I would, because I like the more casual, and we're out here having fun instead of getting very serious on this one, Jeff. And I just say if you want to hit another ball, hit another ball. People say have fun, but it's like, what does that mean? Is that to me it means improving, getting better. So that's what I'm to do every day. I'm like, I just got to get better. I just got to get.
If you're just a little better than yesterday, then you're always getting better, right?
We get better at everything.
That's
I say, let's see if they let me say this. They changed my dreams, and they gave me dream interpretations. But they said, usually it's about me. Can I say this one? They said no. They don't let me talk about it.
All right, 1 second. I was just getting an update from someone just saying if we had live UFOs.
We're gonna look out the window here, folks. Is there any?
John has messaged me. Were you here earlier, John, that showed us the live UFOs from last week?
There they are, folks. Right out the window there. Right out the window there. We found a UFO, mate. It was just flying around out there. Right over here. It went right over my head, mate. Right. We were right over us, mate.
I told us a story about how I saw a UFO once.
You did?
It went right over me. Yeah.
I thought you were the person that said UFOs were demons.
Well, Jeff, I just don't know anymore because my mind has been taken over. See, I was under a belief system. I say we're all in beliefs. We're all living because we can't just know the truth. And I said, give me the truth. Give me the truth. And it's shocking. The truth is very shocking. It's very out there. But all they can do is give me more beliefs. That's what I said. And can we get the truth? I don't know. Because I said, even when we do, they won't let me say those words.
They won't.
No, they won't let me do it, folks. I wanted to do it. But Trump's mind needs to be taken over.
So he says the right things.
Right.
So right things.
Well, brother, I've got to do what I've got to do. I'm deep into overtime, and I have 3 people or 2 people waiting on me.
Well, bless everyone.
But we love you. We want the best for you. We care about you.
Thank you, darling.
And we will see you next week, Stephen.
Have a great night, everyone.
All right.
You're going to do it.
And if you get a chance, go check out Stephen's YouTube channel, Stephen Cake. Bye, Stephen. Oh, he's gone. All right, Leslie's here. And Leslie took a big break from performing. I think he's here. We'll catch up with Leslie. We haven't seen him in quite a while. If he is here, I'm not sure. Leslie, do you hear me? It shows his microphone is on.
Yes, he's on there.
Leslie,
I was on.
Oh,
Yeah,
Leslie,
hello.
welcome back. We haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, it's wow. Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's really great.
Are you going to be performing for us this evening?
Yeah, this is what today I just look at your show, and suddenly I hear thinking, why don't you play?
Yes. Well, hey, that is wow.
I said, basically, I cannot answer for the question. So I don't even know reason. So,
are you going to also be playing after the show tonight on your channel?
No,
no,
I don't think so.
No, you just
it's
come
just
in.
for you, your show.
You. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's
can you
put on.
check it the other?
Let's put on your hands so we can see your hands too.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure the camera is the right position, but. Not so bad. I think so. It's okay. Can see, right?
Yes, we see you. All right. Are you whenever you're ready?
But sound need to change from off to on. Okay, and this here, and yeah, as everybody, not sure, but interesting. For I hear myself doubled, and I know why. Okay, it's nice, good.
Let me just make sure I can hear you. Play a few notes. Yep, got you. Okay, you're good to go.
I cannot hear you now, but maybe...
Well, sorry about that. Bravo, bravo. Great job, Leslie. Great job. I put on the claps. I don't think you can hear it, though. Only the audience can hear it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So I just followed and I played what is given right now. I keep going, so I am enjoying your podcast. And yeah, this question is maybe I need to talk with him for what he wants. So I'm in a study time, lots of things to listen. Your podcast, yesterday podcast with the doctor was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I listened already 2 times.
Wow.
And have many others also, so it's really, of course, special. I am trying finding about music stuff also I like to learn how to download music from heaven. And need some new equipment looks like my heart have more frequency what I can play to this little instrument what I have, but everything's have its right time. So thank you very much for this time with you.
Well, thank you, and I hope to see you again, Leslie.
God bless you.
Thank you, brother. God bless you. Bye-bye. And that was Leslie. Let's do this one too. All right, don't report. And then it is Aiden LLC. And Aiden has been here recently. So we'll see what Aiden is up to. I think he has. I hope so. I don't know. We'll see. Because remember there was a person with a cross on their hat that came one time? I thought that was Aiden LLC. Anyways, we're going to edit anyways, and he's the last guest of the evening. So, all right, tomorrow, I'm going to tell you guys while we're waiting. Tomorrow is an NDE with a woman that was on one of those cooking shows. And I hope you guys really enjoy it. And I've got some, I don't even know if I never really even talked about what's going on this week. Let me look at my schedule. Corina Tonk Pataki. I think she's pretty popular on YouTube. I don't know what we're talking about, but I have her on Monday to record. And Richard Dolan, a very famous UFO researcher that I'm going to be with. A woman named Sonia. I've got Dr. Raymond Moody, the man himself. Dr. Raymond Moody. Why am I looking up? I need to look there. Dr. Raymond Moody, the inventor of NDEs, is going to be with me on Thursday. The merch store. I've created the store, but I don't know what it's not connecting up with YouTube. I got to fix something, but that's there. Luke, thank you. Dr. Rod Chelberg, a near-death experiencer, and another one named Katie, a near-death experiencer. Okay, I think Aiden's made it. I think he's cooking again for his family. So we have those things coming up. But we don't hear him. There we go. He's connecting. Aiden.
Hello?
Are you cooking again tonight?
I happen to be, yeah.
Yeah, I
Give me a
saw
moment.
that. I said he's cooking again for his family.
Okay. Need to get my other earbud. All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right, so you are my last person of the night. What do you have to share with us tonight?
Oh no, I got to wrap it up.
No, you don't have to wrap it up. I'm just saying, what do you have to share? What do you have to share? You keep disappearing on us.
Yeah, I know. Here, I can slow down. I'm not really in a rush. There's only so much time in a day, unfortunately.
Yes, I know how that is. I know exactly how that is.
Right. It's pretty unfortunate. You always got to race against time. It always seems like a race, and I'm not really into that kind of stuff. Though I used to be an athlete. I was a student athlete. I ran cross country. I went to districts and did okay.
Cool.
And then
That's
never
great.
stayed. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know what I should really talk about exactly besides I don't know. I'd like to personally ask you about, so I already did this before.
All right,
I
you're not
understand
coming you're not coming to interview me, and I don't. It's very late
I'm
for
not
me.
interviewing
I'm
you.
almost an hour over into overtime, and I have to now edit this video. So,
okay,
I'm here for
all the
you to
rendering
talk
and
about you. This is
I
your
guess-
chance to share your life with us.
Right. It's not, and that's the thing here. I guess I could talk the philosophy of that, quote unquote. So I don't really see myself as myself, if that makes sense. I think I'm an expression of the whole, right? As I believe we all are.
Okay.
And in the end, I feel like, okay, here. No, I should just get to the point. I don't think there's much time left in terms of like the world. I view like, I think World War III is like right around the corner. I think that beyond that, people are going to start turning into AIs. Like we're going to start synergizing or whatever. We're going to start mixing with computers and become one with them. People are going to become like human calculators or human computers, I guess is a better way to say it. But yeah, it's going to be a world of data, and it's going to take away the humanity, the empathy, the emotion, the mystery of everything, which I don't mind. I value the truth more than anything. Actually, I think that the confusion of everything is kind of the whole problem, like the conspiracy of the whole world, and how like there's just so much hidden from us from higher ups, basically like the ranking of things,
right,
is a huge issue. How like the higher ups, the people that have power, don't share their power. That's the whole issue. And that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that the person that has the power is the source of power, and they actually, again, spread it how it should be, like, you know, equally, I guess, or in a way that's not denying people a source of energy or whatever. Unless, of course, they don't desire that, or that's not their ultimate goal. And that's kind of a part of that, like where I truly do think there's evil. I think I talked about like the fatalism, the idea of like fate, how I really do think that there are people that ultimately their goal, even if they don't quite know it, is for nothingness. Is like, oh man, I cut my hair and I haven't been showering. I've been just like putting oil. I've just been like anointing myself basically and using like rice water and stuff. Like I'm not technically showering. I'm doing like water only showers.
Okay.
And I'm just realizing it's quite the adjustment for my hair. But yeah, it's something I got to get over. It's just
well, you know, I wanted to comment on what you were saying, that quite a few guests are saying something's going to happen in 2025, 2026, even possibly this year. So you may be onto something.
I do think that specifically this month, this year, I think 23 is a very valuable number, not only because of the amount of chromosomes in the human body, but also just because of, I think 2/3 is a really valuable number, actually, in general. I guess like 2 and 3, 2 to 3. I think 2 and 3 are very essential numbers. There's nothing really, I mean, I love 9. I think 9 is a great number too. But I think pairs are really important. Like duality is a really important thing. So 2 is really important, but also 3 in terms of the sense of dividing, I guess, a whole, dividing 1 by 3 is really important, because it's hard to explain. But again, like 2/3 being 0.6666666. Yeah, and then like 0.33333. These are really valuable numbers, especially biblically. And I think that they represent, I don't know they represent just like the split. Unfortunately, there's this whole thing, in my opinion, where I believe there's like a conspiracy where I would say the reason why the mark of the beast is like this 666 thing is it's almost like a mockery of the people so like it says like 1/3 of the stars fell because of like the dragon bringing them down with him in Revelation. And I view that as like when he says like a third of the stars, obviously, like we know, hopefully, if you know anything about like the masonry stuff, they have 33 degrees, and like they value this number a lot. Like they have a lot of esoteric knowledge. And anyways, they like kind of prize this number. But in general, what they are is a mockery. Like a lot of the time they hide things in plain sight and they make fun of the truth and they glorify, or like even in a way they make fun of, like they just take everything as not being serious in a way to like demean the truth. That's like the whole, I guess they make a joke out of the truth. Yeah. That's like the whole thing. That's kind of their power.
Right. Mike, I see your viewpoint on that. Well, I need to get running here, but before I go, do you have something personal that you want to share, of an experience that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I had a coincidence happen, or what I would believe to be a prophecy that I received, which I don't know if it's true or not. It wasn't like, God said or anything. He didn't speak into my ear, but I received 3 coincidences in a row on this day of September 23rd of 2022. And basically the first coincidence was earlier that day, I happened to be getting into this level of like prophecy. And it was talking about like the end days, and specifically this rapture, and how there's like this catching up in the sky where we will be with Jesus forever, we'll be with God. And the whole point is, basically, this person received a prophecy where someone just walked up to them and said, "We have 1 year." And that was it. They didn't give anything else, but the person knew in their heart that it was 1 year until the end. And I received that on exactly a year from, anyways, it was a year, like, anyways, it doesn't matter. So I received that on that day. Then after that, I had, what was the other thing? Oh man, there were 3 things. It's so crazy. No, and the second part was that okay, yeah, sure, this connects it. Yeah, so then it's not really it. Anyways, I was reading Philippians or Ephesians. I can't remember exactly. I really should go back to this. I want to say it's Philippians though. And the end of Philippians, Paul basically says that we greet you with the house of Caesar, like the house of Caesar greets you. And I was like, why is Paul with the house of Caesar when like they persecuted the Christians and killed a lot of them? Like, I'm trying to say exactly who it was, but a lot of people think he's like the Antichrist and stuff. I think it was Nero. So like Emperor Nero. He was a great persecutor. And then, I'll pop up, please. Can you give me a moment? I know it's gonna, yeah. It's a lot to go into. Anyways, Emperor Nero, all that stuff. And I'm just looking into who was like the emperor at the time of Christ and stuff like that. And I found out that it was Augustus. And then it ended up being that like I just coincidentally found Augustus and like his bio and everything like that. I saw that he was born on September 23rd, I want to say. Either he died, I think he died in August. He was born in September 23rd. And then I like look at that and I'm like, oh, okay, like that's pretty close to my birthday. That's 7 days away from my birthday. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like I love September, it's a great year. I think I like the fall. And then anyways, I don't like the fall in the literal sense, but fall is the season. Autumn is very beautiful. And I like the weather. And then basically I just ended up realizing, I'm like, oh, okay, Augustus. And then I realized that the day, I hadn't thought about that. I hardly ever think about time or days or anything. I just try and make it through the day most of the time. I'm not much of a person with foresight. And then anyways, like I just realized, oh yeah, it is September 23rd. It's actually Augustus's birthday. And yeah. And then I remember, and then like instantly it flashed in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, we have a year. And then the whole thing was like, is it a year till the end? Like right now, is this going to be the end? And then I ended up finding, oh yeah, this is the other coincidence. There you go. I found out quite a bit later, that someone in 2017, 2015, as well, there had been these signs in the stars about like Virgo or whatever entering into the certain cycle. Basically, this prophecy of like the one with the sun above her head and the moon at her feet. And it all happened in the stars. And then this guy had actually said that there was going to be that the rapture was going to be in 2017 of 2023. Not of 2023, sorry, of September 23rd. So there's something already important about this date that's already been prophesied, where someone already thought the rapture was going to happen on September 23rd of 2017. And then I happen to have the same exact date, just not the same year.
Right.
So,
well, September 23rd is coming up very soon. So we're going to find out. Aiden, I got to run. It's after 10 o'clock. I'm an hour into overtime. Thank you for coming on. Have a great weekend, and I will see you later, brother.
Sorry that was jumbled, by the way, but hopefully it got through.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks again for another great weekend, for another great Saturday night. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming and being with us on a Saturday night. And I will see you guys next Saturday. God bless you. We love you, and good night.